Welcome back, all you ball ticklers. Get over it. They're ball ticklers. That's what they are, bud. This is another exciting edition of MV Pretenders. And on today's episode, me and my co-host, Bud, are going to go ahead and look at who we think are going to be the big winners this Sunday. I believe he's also going to do some picks for you in terms of NFL season players that you might want to pick up if you're in a full season league. Are you still doing that?
Yes, but team by team basis as we're going through the teams we think are going to win.
Okay. Having said that, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and, without further ado, we're going to get started on who we think are going to wind up being the winners of this Sunday's games. Alrighty? And having said that, guys, I am not going to go into a crazy amount of detail. I'm basically just going to give you my picks, and we'll let him wax poetic as he feels like doing. I just want to keep it nice and short today from me, okay? Are you ready, bud?
Ready and able?
All right, let's go ahead and bring up the NFL calendar, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right, so we can see here on the NFL calendar. First of all, let me draw your attention to the skilled professionals who are running the NFL.com website. You can see yesterday that the Chiefs lost, according to them, by having a higher score on the scoreboard of 34-20.
They were confused and thought they were playing golf.
If you take a look here, you'll notice that it says that the Chiefs got 34, the Texans got 20. Somehow the Texans have a record of 1-0, and the Chiefs have a record of 0-1. I'm not
Lowest
exactly
score
sure how
wins
that
in
happened,
golf.
but anyway, that's how it happened. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our picks without further ado. So the first game that we're going to talk about today is we're going to look at the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington football team.
Are we going by their scoring rules or the actual scoring rules?
What do you mean by that?
Is lowest score winning or highest score actually winning?
Well, we're going to go ahead and pick who the actual winners are, not how the NFL.com is reporting them. So, who do you got winning between the Eagles and the team formerly known as the Redskins?
I give the Eagles about a 70% chance to win this game.
All right, I'm going to pick the Eagles too, and I did tell you guys that I would tell you whether I thought it was going to be one touchdown or more than one touchdown. I am going to say that the Eagles will win by more than one touchdown.
I concur.
All right. Moving on, we're
Uh,
going to look at. Go ahead.
if you want anyone on your fantasy teams, on either one of these teams that you might want all season long, my recommendation, if you were to pick anyone from either one of these teams, it wouldn't be anyone from the Washington Redskins. You might pick up uh, Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz combo.
Okay, is that all you wanted to say there?
That's it for that.
All right. So the next game that we're going to talk about is going to pit the Dolphins and the Patriots. And I'm going to pretend that this was the Dolphins of the 80s because I'm expecting them to come in and beat the Patriots.
I'm going to have to disagree here, and I think the Patriots are going to come out and they're going to wash away the Dolphins.
So you're taking the Pats, the Brady-less Pats, and I am taking the Dolphins.
That is correct.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get right back to the picks then, shall we?
Yeah, because I don't want anyone from either one of those teams.
All right. The next game that we're going to talk about is what I expect to be the NFL game of the week. Packers versus the Vikings. I think that this is going to be a tough matchup for both teams. I really don't know where to go, and in times like this, when I don't know where to go, I'm going to go with the Packers because the town owns their team, and I've always been a bit of a closet cheesehead, and I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. And with the way the draft went this year, I'm expecting Aaron to kind of come out with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, with something to prove, and I think we're going to see the Aaron Rodgers who can run the show when he's performing at his best. I think we're going to see him at his best, and so I'm going to pick the Packers. However, it's not going to come easy. I'm going to say by less than 7 points.
I am going with the Packers as well, and I was thinking three myself.
Alrighty. When I don't guess I spoke about the amount the Dolphins and the Patriots. I'm actually going to say that the Dolphins win by more than a touchdown.
The Patriots, but it's going to be close.
So you're picking the Patriots less than a touchdown. I'm picking the Dolphins by
I'm
more
picking
than a
them
touchdown.
about a touchdown, about 7 points.
So you're gonna okay.
7 to 10.
Well, we don't ride the fence here. So say more or say a touchdown.
7 to 10 points.
That's gonna be more. Yeah, no fence riding here. Okay, back to the pick, shall we? So the next game that we're going to talk about is going to be the Colts and the Jaguars, and I expect what do I expect to have happen here? I think I'm going to expect the Colts to get started out with a win on the road, and I'm going to say that they're going to do it in a game that sees them score by more than 7 points over their opponent.
Colts, less than.
All right. Do you have anything you want to speak about in terms of players here? Anything?
Not really.
All right, moving on then. We're going to look at the Bears on the road and in Detroit, and I expect the Lions to get started out with a home win, and I'm going to say that they do so with a victory margin of less than 7 points.
It's going to be Detroit Lions, more than 7 points. We're also a guy that you're going to want to pick up on your team, a guy that they just picked up after the Washington Redskins went ahead and kicked him to the curb. Adrian Peterson.
All right, great. So you're looking for things out of AP still, huh?
Yes, I am.
You don't think he's done?
He's not done, not by a long shot.
All right, great. Well, let's get back to some more picks, shall we?
Absolutely.
Let me scroll down just a little bit here. And what we're going to look at now is we're going to talk about the Raiders and the Panthers. And this is not the Raiders team formerly out of Oakland that left Oakland and came back to Oakland, and a Raiders team that moves all the time and has been the laughing stock of the league for years. This is no longer a team that is the laughing stock of the league, and they're not going to be a laughing stock tomorrow either, as the Raiders will come out and start the season with a big win, guys, more than 7 points. I'm expecting maybe as many as 2 touchdowns. They will take it to the Panthers tomorrow.
Las Vegas all day here, baby. The Raiders are going to go ahead and win. I am also going to say more than 7 points as well here. Guys that you're going to want from your team, you're going to want to pick up Waller, their tight end, Josh Jacobs, their running back, and on the Panthers, obviously Christian McCaffrey. Easy pick for just about anybody. Downside is he's not going to be as effective this year catching the ball. So he's not going to get as many receiving yards as he has in the past. It's just because the quarterback there, if anyone has him, sell now.
All right. And so let's go down to the next game, shall we? We're going to talk about the Jets and the Bills. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you speak this time.
Absolutely. Sounds good. So both these teams, I'm not expecting too much from either one of these teams this year. However, the Bills have a really good defensive team. You didn't really get to tell that as much last year. They didn't seem as good of a defensive team as that they actually were because their defense was always on the field because their offense wasn't on the field for very often. I am going with the Jets by more than a touchdown.
And he's taking the Jets by more than a touchdown. I am actually going to go ahead and say that he's got the pick wrong. And I'm going to say that the Bills are going to win this game. And you know what? I'm going to say that they do it by more than a touchdown. I'm going to say that they probably, when all said and done, I say that the Bills are probably going to win by 9. But I'm not going to put my exact bet out there with that number. But I will say the Bills beat the Jets by more than a touchdown.
Controversy.
All right, so shall we get back to the picks here? Next up, we have Browns heading on out to Baltimore.
Well, obviously I'm going to go with the Ravens as I predict that they are going to be this year's Super Bowl champs.
So he's made a Super Bowl pick this year already. I am not willing to start making any kind of bold predictions about the Super Bowl at this point in time. But I will go ahead and say, yeah, the Ravens are probably going to beat the Browns tomorrow. And just like the Bills are going to beat the Jets by more than 7, the Ravens are most assuredly going to beat the Browns by more than 7 tomorrow.
Lamar Jackson, their quarterback, is who you're going to want this year. And that's going to be it from that team.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Seahawks and the Falcons, shall we? So when you're looking at the Seahawks, they they did they were a pretty good team on the road last year. When we start out with the first game of the season, do you think that they will be a team that plays good on the road again this year, or do you think they're going to get off to a rough start down there in Atlanta?
I believe they're going to have a rough start down there in Atlanta, as the Falcons actually this year are my number 2 guess on who will be the Super Bowl champs.
So he's already told you who's going to be in the Super Bowl this year. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Seattle is probably going to struggle a little bit on Sunday as well. Although I expect this game to be kind of tight. I'm going to pick the Falcons, and I'm going to say that they get it done by exactly 7 points.
I think Todd Gurley is going to wear down the Seahawks defense a little bit early on, open up that passing game for Matt Ryan.
All right. Well, we shall see, huh? Then we're going to go ahead and venture on into Cincinnati, where they will be hosting the San Diego Chargers. I'm going to let you know right now that the Chargers are going to roll over the Bengals. This game will be fun to watch if you are a fan of California football. If you're a fan of Ohio football, you will probably want to keep the channel off because the Chargers are going to rout the Bengals way more than 7-point victory.
My prediction here is the Bengals might have picked up last year's Heisman Trophy winner, but that's not going to be enough this year, and the Chargers are going to whomp all over them.
Alrighty. So I guess we need to talk about the Cardinals and the 49ers, right?
Absolutely. 49ers all day in this game.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to be said here. 49ers more than 7.
Yeah, pretty much. Easy guess there. Kittle's going to be the guy that you're going to want to pick up on that team. Also, as I said previous in another cast, Brandon Ayuk, the rookie wide receiver, you'll want to pick him up as well.
All right, so go ahead and tell us a little bit about what we should expect when it comes to the Saints and the Buccaneers. And before you do this, I have to say you should go ahead and pick against your guy because we haven't had enough of these matches that we're disagreeing on yet, and we need to have a little bit of controversy. Otherwise, our logo doesn't make a lot of sense, you piece of crap. And so, so I want you to go ahead and pick against your favorite quarterback because
why would I pick against Drew Brees? That's my guy.
I'm not going to pick against him tomorrow, so I need you to do it.
But Drew Brees is my dude. But okay, fine, and I will say Buccaneers by 3 points. And the guy to watch out for on that team that you'll want to pick up is somebody from the Saints.
All right. So now for the actual pick that's correct. First of all, Drew, if you're watching this, I mean, you heard this guy just crap all over you. You just heard it. How he was
I totally hate you. You have no skill whatsoever.
Take the Bucs
why you're
because
terrible.
the Saints have Breeze, and so that's why he's picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to go ahead and say that the ageless one, Mr. Short Stuff himself, at least if you're a quarterback, apparently it's crazy to be 6 foot tall. Drew gets it done with a big win on Sunday. Saints walk over the Buccaneers by 17 points, which is more than 7.
It is more than 7. Next up, we have the Cowboys versus the, once again, Los Angeles Rams.
Once again, yes, they did not change since yesterday, or last year. So
also, their stadium is now built.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the game.
All right, a little bit about the game is the Rams are going to be missing Todd Gurley. They're not going to be missing him by much, as they're going to coast to a more than one touchdown lead in this game. Cooper Kupp, you're going to want him in your wide receiving core. The Cowboys, you're probably going to want to pick up. Yeah, I can't really think of anyone that you're really going to want to pick up there too much. Maybe Amari Cooper, if anyone. Uh, Dak Prescott might get you a little bit, but there's way better quarterbacks out there to get.
All right, so he picks the Rams, and again, he's going to be wrong because the Cowboys will start the season out going 1-0, unless the NFL.com gets the stats wrong on the schedule page.
Are you expecting them to go ahead and score less and still get the win?
No, I'm expecting them to have more points on the scoreboard than the Rams, and so Dallas will start out 1-0. They will win this game by 6 points, which, if we're keeping score at home, that is less than 7. 6 point victory for the Cowboys Sunday.
It's hard to do when you lose by more than that.
But,
unless you're the Chiefs playing, apparently.
Doesn't matter. Cowboys will win on Sunday. We have 2 more games to talk about, and those are those Monday night games. So do you want to start out talking about the Steelers-Giants, or do you want to talk about Titans-Broncos?
Titans-Broncos.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Titans playing out there in some mile-high air.
Well, myself and a lot of people are actually expecting big things from the Broncos this year. So I'm going to say the Broncos by more than one touchdown over the Titans. The Titans, one of the best things that they got going for them is they decided that Mariota is not going to be their starting quarterback anymore. Kick him to the curb. So they got that going for them. However, a new quarterback running that offense is not going to be enough to go ahead and take over the Broncos.
All right, so you're picking the Broncos by how much?
More than 7.
Okay. So here's how I feel about this game. I feel like, so I told you I expect Green Bay Vikings to be a really great game, right? I expect Titans and Broncos to have a really great game as well. Now, when I say great game, I actually mean close and competitive. I don't necessarily know if we'll see the same level of skill that's on the field in this game as we will with the Green Bay Packers and the my brain has just left me. I cannot believe it. The Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. So I expect Titans and Broncos to have a really close game. And I do think you've picked the right winners. I do think the Broncos come out on top, but I think it will be by less than 7 points.
Running back Lindsey for the Broncos.
All right. So that only gives us one game left to talk about, and it's going to be Steelers and Giants. I'm going to go ahead and take the lead on this one, and just tell everybody if you're talking about the spread, the Steelers are going to cover the spread. They're going to pass. You're going to beat that. They are going. Everyone's pretty much expecting them, I think, to kind of walk over the Giants. I expect that expectation will be correct, and I'm going to say that the Steelers win big, definitely more than 7.
I'm going to have to go with Saquon Barkley. Go ahead and just annihilating the Steelers, giving the Giants about a 1 touchdown game over the Steelers.
So you expect an upset in this game, and you expect a major upset.
I'm expecting Saquon Barkley to go out there, rush for about 120 yards, and catch about another 50 or so.
Yeah, okay, well, good luck to him, but the case of the matter is that when the scoreboard is...
And 2 TDs.
When the scoreboards are up on Monday, it will show that the Pittsburgh Steelers are up 1-0 on the standings, and the Giants will be at the bottom of the standings because they'll be winless.
Not happening.
That's exactly what's going to happen. So how many of these games do we disagree on? Let's go back and review, shall we? So starting at the... let's go to the top, shall we? So we start out, and Eagles versus football team.
Yeah.
Eagles versus football team.
Go NFL.com.
We both say that the Eagles win, right?
Correct.
in Dolphins and the Patriots,
We
I took
disagreed.
Miami, and
I
you
t-
took good old Boston. All right,
Boston strong.
Boston sucks. And to our Boston listeners, Boston sucks. Okay, and then we're going to talk about Packers Vikings. I said Cheesehead Nation starts out with a win, and you said
I agreed.
right. Then we looked at Colts Jaguars, and what was the pick there?
Both Colts.
Yeah. Then we talked about Bears Lions, right?
We both went Lions.
We both went Lions. Then we talked Raiders Panthers, and we
We
both
both went
said
Raiders.
Raiders. So it's not a whole lot of disagreement so far. What are we disagreeing on? Dolphins Patriots so far?
Yes.
Okay.
We're about to have another disagreement.
Yes. Bills Jets, and you picked wrong.
I picked the Jets.
Exactly. Like I said, you picked
You
wrong.
picked the Bills.
Exactly, I did. Then we looked at we started talking about some Browns Ravens, right?
Yeah, and that was pretty unanimous there.
Yeah. So Ravens are gonna come out on top there. Then we talked about Seahawks and Falcons, and we said
We disagreed. You went Seahawks, I believe, and I went Falcons.
that Seahawks were a great team on the road last year, and you said I don't expect that to happen, and I expect them to get beat. I said I expected them to. I don't even remember what I said.
You expected them to win.
I wish I knew what I said because at this point, when I don't remember who I said is going to win, it makes it really hard for me to defend the position of whether I thought it was going to be a big win or a little win. But yeah, I think the Seahawks beat the Falcons. So there we go. Now I don't
Not
remember if that's
happening.
what I said. I want to go back and watch now. Um, so yeah, I'd like to see what I said there. But yeah, I know exactly what I said because I told everybody the truth. Seahawks win.
Nope.
Yeah. Then we talked a little bit about the next game, Chargers and Bengals, and I told everyone if you're a fan of California football, get ready to smile. If you're a fan of Ohio football, don't even bother to watch. And you said,
Chargers all day.
yeah. And then we talked a little bit about Arizona and San Francisco, right?
Really briefly because that was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, and we basically said again, good day for California football. Then we talked Saints Buccaneers, and
I was forced to pick the Buccaneers.
he was forced to pick the Buccaneers because he cannot stand Drew Brees. He said, if the roles were reversed and Drew was on the other
I'd
team,
punch him right in the face.
I'd pick the Saints all day
Just kidding,
long
Drew
if
Brees,
Drew
don't hurt
wasn't
me.
over there. But because he is a member of that Saints team, you got to pick against him, and so that's what he did. And I said I actually still believe in Drew. I still believe in him. So we're gonna go ahead and pick the Saints here.
We disagreed on this next one.
Yes, it was another time where you said, "Hey, good day to be a California football fan," and this time I said,
Screw
uh,
California.
"It's not going to be a great day for California football. In fact, the Rams are going to be responsible for making sure that California does not go undefeated in Week 1, because California will get whipped up on by some Cowboys. Take it to the bank.
Well, it's going to be another Texas loss.
Not this time."
Unless you're going by the NFL, in which case they think lower scores win. If you're Texas.
Okay, so they probably don't even know what we're talking about anymore when you keep using that joke. But anyway, we were looking at Steelers Giants, and I said Pittsburgh wins,
I said Giants win.
and you were wrong.
I was correct.
Not quite.
Watch Monday.
So tell us what we said about the last game.
The last game that we went with before the last.
The last game we haven't spoken of. Gee whiz. Tell us a little bit about the game.
I went Broncos. Didn't you go Titans?
Didn't I go Titans? Didn't I go Titans?
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
I went Titans. The reason I went Titans is because they're going to win the game, and they're going to beat some Broncos.
So on Monday, we disagree on everything.
On everything. There's two freaking games. Yeah, we disagree on them both. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. So basically, what needs to happen is uh, Monday we'll probably do a show. Um, and if not, then we'll do one Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Apparently, we're not going to do one Monday. I thought we were going to do one Monday. So Tuesday we'll come back and we'll see how all of these football games shaped up. We'll probably talk some other sports because I want to, and that's what will happen. So until then, you guys have a blessed Monday, a less hateful Monday than people usually experience. You know, hopefully you don't have a case of the Mondays on Monday, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Monday's my Friday.
Remember, guys, what you need to do is let us know in the comments the stuff that you want to talk about. Ask the questions that you have and let us get back to you. Also, don't forget to rip on Bud as mercilessly as you can. And
Bring it on.
he didn't mention anything about a splash in this episode, so I didn't get to do anything. So that was
Oh,
my
I'm sorry. The Ravens are going to make quite the splash over the Browns.
So I'll be making some sound effects for that in the future. By the way, I have this neat little controller to control our show, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, guys,
The Giants splash the Steelers.
I guess what's going to happen is we will see you next week. So we're out of here, guys. In 3, 2,